misnomer. And now we have a number of inscriptions of the pre-Ashokan period. Besides the Sogaura, Mahastan, Badli, Piprava vase inscription, Batiprolu, we have a number of inscriptions from Tamil caves. All these records betray the close relationship with the Ashokan records, hence they came to be called as the pre-Ashokan records. That is the fundamental definition. When the pre-Ashokan Brahmi script was employed in Sri Lanka and when it was employed in Tamil country is a question. That is the main argument of today's paper. Though Paranavitana and others have been thinking that prior to the 3rd century BC, there were no Brahmi inscriptions or Brahmi script was not used in Sri Lanka. But these theories have been later changed on account of the excavations conducted by F.R. Alchin, Cunningham, Deranagale, and Karunaratne and others, and several others. They have brought out some reports, particularly from the citadel area of Anuradhapura. So I am going to show you a few slides giving how the pre-Ashokan Brahmi script has been employed in Sri Lanka. First point is, the Sri Lankans knew the art of writing. That must be stressed here. It was Paranavitana and Malandi Dayas have been thinking that there were no pre-Ashokan Brahmi script at all in Sri Lanka, so it came only in 3rd century BC. But the pre-Ashokan people, Sri Lankan people, knew the art of writing. It was the Ashokan Buddhists who converted or developed the art of writing into the epigraphical media. So that is an important point. Whereas even before this, the Jaina itinerant pilgrims and merchants from Tamil country, they have introduced the Tamil Brahmi script in our Tamil country. So my point of argument is, the Tamil Brahmi script is germane to Tamil Nadu. I am again and again telling, it is germane to Tamil Nadu. It was born and brought up at Tamil Nadu only, and it has grown in the among the Tamil people. It was not borrowed from any script. So that is the speciality for the Tamil Brahmi script. What is the reason? The Sri Lankans also knew the rudimentary form of writing, and Tamil Brahmi people also knew the rudimentary form of writing. But apart from the rudimentary nature of the script, the Tamils have introduced special symbols, non-Aryan symbols, or Dravidian sounds to suit the Dravidian phonology. And that is not seen in the Sri Lanka. It's not required also in the Sri Lanka, because in the Sri Lanka, the Indo-Aryan migration that had taken place in the 5th or 4th century BC had developed the dialect to suit the local phonetical system. So this Aryanization process took place around the 1st century BC or so. Whereas in Tamil Brahmi, the liquid Ra and then the alveolar nasal Na and the lingual La and Vallinam Ra, these are the 4 important Dravidian sounds that have been introduced by the Tamils to suit the Dravidian phonology. And secondly, the excavations conducted at several places like Kodumanal, Adagankulam, Arikamedu, Adichalur, etc. have thrown new vestiges or new evidences or objects, so with which the date of the Tamil Brahmi has been pushed back to not later than the 6th century BC. Particularly, I am concentrating on one particular site called Adichalur. I also discussed with Dr. Kalaingar regarding this. I have seen in the site one of the urns, urn number 29, belong to the second phase of the megalithic culture. The carbon dating also has come. It has given about 700 to 600 BC. And the urn burial, the writing is found inside. The Tamil Brahmi is found inside. The reading is Kari Aravanada. It may be the name of the engraver or the person whose bones have been interred inside, or the potter maker, whose name may be. But out of the 150 urns found out at this site, 15 contains the skeletal remains. 15 urns. And 59 contains the potsherds, black and red ware pottery, with Brahmi writing. But they are not in continuous form. Only some few letters here and there, like Ta, Ma, etc. But all these evidences help us to date the site. Particularly the Adichanur site, there are two sites. One is the burial area, side by side the habitation area. In the habitation area, beads were found out. Hundreds of beads, like the Kodamandal. And these beads have been prepared at a particular site. And where we have traced the furnace, the ashes were seen. So people knew the use of the furnace during that time. And the burial site also, along with the Brahmi pottered inscriptions, we have got number of irons, iron ingots, chisels, etc. have been found out, arrowheads. So that means they were the iron users. So iron users had the knowledge, particularly they knew the science of metallurgy, and they were more literate. So they had the communication ability in those days. Iron was not only used for agricultural purposes, it was also used for the engraving purposes. Not only for agriculture and other things, but also for chiseling. Different types of chisels have been prepared, iron tools have been prepared for chiseling the different objects. Here, in this case, in the Adichanur case, it was not a very deep engraving. It was a very, like Piprava waste inscription, like a scratches, as we've seen, over which the lime coating was there. When I took the digital camera and photographed, it was very clear, and after zooming, I could easily read it. Then I told Dr. Satyamurthy that it is Kari Aravanada only. Later on, I was told that the inscription has been erased. I don't know for what reason. We have lost evidence to some extent. But still, the groove is there, the scratching is there. Like the one found at the Porundal, Vayara. The three letters also, they were not very deeply engraved. So like this, some evidence are available for which the iron has been used. So that is So my final argument is the iron users are responsible of the megalithic period, or the persons who invented the Tamil Brahmi script. That's my conclusion. So otherwise it would not have been possible to chisel so many inscriptions, potted inscriptions at Kodumannal. Nearly 250 inscriptions, and they are, of course, they are not in full form. There are some broken words here and there, but still a few mentions the Prakrit names. They resemble the Sri Lankan names, like Palasa, Arakasa, like these things. Sa and D. So it's an Indo-Aryan influence from the beginning. The common features between the Tamil Cave Brahmi and the Sri Lankan Brahmi is the absence of inherent vowel value, absence of conjunct consonants, absence